Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel for another video. Now guys, this one is not going to be too long because today what we're going to be talking about, in my opinion, is the best tactics and formations to use in this FIFA. Now what we're going to be doing today is talking about a couple formations. We've talked about a couple of them in tactic videos before. We're going to be looking and talking about a couple formations that are very, very good this year, talking about how they work and what types of instructions and players to be using in them. If you guys enjoyed the video today and it helps you, drop a thumbs up. Hopefully this is to give you guys an idea of some play styles that work for me and things that I really like. So first of all, what we're going to be talking about is the 4-1-2-2 narrow formation. Now, I have done a video on this. I've edited a little bit. There's a couple ways that you can play the 4-1-2-2 narrow, guys. Right now, I'm playing it with a lot of pressure, direct passing, and fast buildup. This is a very aggressive way to play this formation. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it unless you're really comfortable playing with a couple defenders only, but also playing a really attacking way going forward. So really, the 4-1-2-2 is very good this year, and disregard those tactics. You can make them what you want. It is still really good because the meta this year is really making the extra pass in the box. So having a cam with two strikers in the box is super effective, especially when you have an LCM and an RCM that are able to really make those outside runs and supporting runs into the box. So personally, for that reason, I do really like it because the driven pass is really good. So it is nice, and you can also really utilize fullbacks in this formation. And I think fullbacks are super important in this year's FIFA. So the 4-1-2-2 is definitely at the top of my list for formations this year, and I think it's just because the final pass is really important in this game. And so when you are, let's say I received the ball with Sterling from Hakimi, if instead of doing all these cancels and these skills like last year, it's really about kind of utilizing the extra pass. And so making that extra pass over to Bergkamp or Dybala is really nice because they're always so close in proximity, and then we make that extra pass for that first time shot. Really, in this formation, instruction wise, you're going to want to make sure that you have stay back and cover center on your DM. You may want to play one fullback unbalanced. Because of this year's game, I really put them to stay back because Davies, and who I use a lot as my guy going forward, just naturally goes forward, especially when you start triggering runs with L1 and R1. And then really cover wing for the two center mids is really important. You want to leave that on. I like playing with two attacking LCM, and I like playing with attacking midfield, even in this formation. And really, that's about it. The rest of the instructions are all kind of on basic because this year I have been utilizing a lot of the player lock and a lot of the L1 R1 runs. So it's really, I'm really controlling it all anyway. So having these guys on basic is really important. But the 4-1-2-2 is very good. Another formation that's absolutely incredible this year is the 4-4-2. Now, to somebody that's not really used to playing with a cam, I would really recommend the 4-4-2 because I think it provides you overall the most balance in any formation this year. I wouldn't really look too into all the defensive and offensive tactics that I'm playing. But slow build-up is on is because it is a slower kind of formation. But the way you want to play this formation is kind of utilizing triangle passing between your striker, your center mid, and your wide mid, and kind of moving up the pitch from side to side. It's a very build-up based formation, but it can be really, really, really effective. And again, for that kind of meta of the extra pass, it is really nice to be able to, utilize having that striker right next to the other striker and being able to tap it in. Something that's really interesting with this formation is that you are going to want to make sure that you keep your left mid and your right mid most likely on stay wide, but also get in behind, because a lot of the attack is going to go through that wide player, creating that final separation of space, and then kind of allocating the ball back into the middle, for that first time shot. So 4-4-2 is very, very good this year. Again, in terms of instructions, I would recommend putting one striker on target man. I think it's going to be important that you guys have both of these guys on stay central, but one of them on target man, so they're kind of receiving and checking in a little bit more. Other than that, we have cover center on both center mids, stay back on obviously one of them. And then again, you can see the wide guys are on stay wide and get him behind. I actually have them on get into the box for cross. I don't know if that's a standard tactic, but I do have that on them. And then obviously stay back while attacking on both of them is also very, very, very good. So I think stay back while attacking is also very important on the fullbacks this year. I was playing balanced on the left back again, even in the last formation and this formation, but it's so easy to move those guys forward that I really don't think you guys should and have to do it. So just don't do it. I wouldn't recommend doing it. Just generally, I don't think you have to. So 4-4-2 is very good. Would very much recommend that formation. This is not the 3-5-2. The next one we're going to be talking about is the 4-2-3-1, guys. The 4-2-3-1 is very good again this year. You're seeing a lot of pros at the top level use it. And the reason because of that, again, is that this game does cater towards slower buildup. It's just, I'm going to say it as it is. It's a slower FIFA. This title is a slow game. And this formation in terms of the way you build up is very similar to the 4-4-2. And this formation is very, very hard to break down defensively, especially with the right tactics. Now, I don't recommend playing comeback on a lot of players, guys, because for me, when I log onto FIFA, I'm not even gonna move these players around, guys, because I wasn't even setting, I don't even have this specific player set up. But I mean, for me, when I play FIFA, I don't really like playing with a lot of players on comeback on defense. I just hate the idea and the concept of playing FIFA with super defensive. But this formation is definitely one of the hardest formations to score against, especially when you have both your center mids that are capable of defending, and then if you actually put comeback on your wide players. Something that's a really good tactic to do is come back and then get into the box for crosses. That's a really nice one because that kind of triggers the comeback and then also get in behind, which is really, really, really nice. I wouldn't recommend comeback on the cam. I wouldn't recommend comeback on the striker. But I personally don't do comeback on the wings, but that could be a way to really... 4-2-3-1 is essentially probably the best way to close out a game. And the reason for that is that when you get the ball with the left back, let's say Davies, for example, he's got such an easy pass to Barella and then such an easy pass to, let's say, Ronald Koeman's playing at left mid, but he's not. But that would be Sterling usually. There's just such an easy way to pass through and in and out of this formation. You got the center mid to the wing to the potential cam to the striker. If you play it to the striker, you can play it back to the cam or back to the wide mid, and then you can do it all over again. So this formation is used by so many pros and so many top players because the support it gives is massive. You have so much support in this formation almost at all times. So this is a really good formation again this year, the 4-3-2, 4-3-1-2. We got two more formations we're going to go over, guys, that I would really recommend to you guys. The next formation that we're going to talk about, guys, is, wait for it, it is the 4-3-2-1. I know, you're going to be like, Nick, you haven't talked about this formation in a while. Guys, this formation is very good this year. And there's a lot of ways that you can play this formation, but it's very good. It's very good. Now, the one flaw with this formation this year is that the midfield does end up being very compact, but defensively, that is going to give you a benefit. Attacking-wise, it is a little bit hard. You're going to have to figure out the right balance of instructions to put on this 4-3-2-1. But the reason that I really like the 4-3-2-1 this year is that what you can do is you can set up your team in the front three in terms of a way where, let's say I have, let's go with Sterling and Bergkamp, right? So what I like about this formation is the ability to be so free up there, and I'm struggling right now. This is definitely questionable maneuvering. I don't know why this is like always glitched, by the way. It's super annoying. But let's talk about this, right? So Bergkamp and Sterling are up there. So with Bergkamp, we'd probably want to put him on stay central and maybe basic, right? What I like about this is that we could also put Sterling on stay central and get in behind. So Sterling could be the guy that's really making those penetrating runs down that side. And obviously Dybala, because of the meta of the finesses, would probably be on the right side for the cut in left side. But we could also put Dybala on stay central, and then we could also put him on like target man or false nine. And that's pretty cool because what you could have is you could almost have this acting a little bit like a 4-1-2-2, but a little bit different. So I just like this formation because I think in the attack, it's really nice with the free ability of so many different things and ways that you can play. Again, I would do stay back on the fullbacks in this formation. I would also do stay back on the DM. You could do some different things here. Like if you wanted to put De Bruyne on get forward, you know, maybe you would do it with the RCM, right? Because if you have two guys going forward on this way, you maybe have a nice balance of support going on that right side. And then, not to keep you guys here for too long, but then the final formation that we're going to talk about today, the absolute final formation, is the... Wait for it. Where is it? 3-5-2. Okay, final formation we're going to talk about today, guys, 3-5-2. Now, this formation is still very good. You just need the right players to play with it. Three center backs that have, you know, a little bit faster pace stats. What I would say as well is you could use a slower player in the middle. Just have the RCB and the LCB pretty fast. You can use a fullback, but the fullback should be like a Davies, a Hakimi, a guy who can really get forward at left mid and right mid. And then again, you're going to want to play the middle, and the way you really penetrate with this team, it's very similar actually to the 4-1-2-2 narrow. You actually just get a little bit more support, and the team is a little bit more spread out generally. So it does very much compare to that 4-1-2-2 narrow. But I like it a lot. I think there's not really anything too specific that you have to use on this. You can kind of move around and do what you want with it. But that's it, guys. Those are 5 formations that I really, really, really like this year. I think they're really good. And I just wanted to share them with you guys because for me, I think they're the best formations in this game. Obviously, we have a patch dropping next week. So if there's anything that really changes in that patch, I will try my best to bring you guys another video kind of talking about maybe post-patch tactics and things like that. But I know a lot of you guys are rocking into the weekend league. So yeah, check out these 5 formations, maybe test them at Rivals today and tomorrow and the day after, and let me know and see, you know, which one's working for you. I think out of all those 5 formations, you guys will find your groove with one of them. I think one of them will work for you depending on your playstyle. For me, I'm a guy that needs a cam and 2 strikers. I tried the 4-4-2. I did well with it, but it became very stale. So it just depends on the type of FIFA player you guys are at the end of the day. Thank you guys for watching my content. I appreciate it. See you guys soon. Peace.